For so many working mothers, life can really start to feel like a path that was chosen for you, not by you. But what if you could actually redesign that path? Today, we're going to dig into a blueprint for exactly that, how to shift from that default journey to becoming the architect of your own dream life. It usually starts with this quiet little question that just keeps popping up. You know the one. It happens when you're in the middle of juggling your career, your family, your home, and you just wonder, is this it? Is this really the only life I'm meant to live? And I want you to know that question, it's not a sign that you've failed. It's actually a call to start a brand new journey. So, where does that feeling even come from? Well, a lot of the time, it stems from what we can call the default path. Think of it as this socially scripted journey that kind of lays out a very specific, expected sequence for how your life is supposed to go. Okay, let's break this down, because it's probably going to look pretty familiar, right? First, you focus on your education. That leads you to a corporate career. Then comes marriage, and then motherhood. Each step is just seen as this natural progression. It's the expected route to what everyone calls a successful life. But here's the thing, the hidden cost in all of this. At every single one of these stages, as a daughter, a wife, a mom, a professional, the focus is almost always on putting everyone else first. And so slowly but surely, your own personal dreams, they get pushed to the back burner. They get postponed, and then, way too often, they're just forgotten completely. But that moment of questioning we talked about just a minute ago, that is the turning point. That's the internal call to change, that dawning realization that the default path does not have to be the only path for you. And this quote, it just perfectly captures the mindset shift that has to happen. It's this incredibly powerful belief that you are the one who's responsible for your life. It's not about waiting around for permission or for someone to swoop in and rescue your dreams. It's about taking ownership and deciding right now to build something new for yourself. So, what is the alternative? Well, our source material calls it the third path, a journey where you get to become a dream architect. And this isn't about abandoning your responsibilities at all. It's about finding a way to grow alongside them. Now, this is where things get really interesting, because it's a huge shift in thinking. We're moving away from reactive time management, just frantically checking things off a to-do list, and moving into proactive time design. You're not just managing tasks anymore. You are literally architecting a life where your career, your family, and your own personal growth can all happen at the same time, concurrently, instead of one after the other. And that brings us to the official title for this new role you can step into, the Dream Architect. So what is a dream architect? She's a woman who actively rediscovers those dreams she postponed, who intentionally designs her time to make space for them, and who builds a life full of purpose that integrates her family rather than sacrificing for it. Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, but how do you actually do it? Well, the blueprint is built on 6 really practical, actionable routines that take this whole idea from being just a concept into something you do in your daily reality. So here they are, just at a glance. We've already covered that first big one, shifting to time design, which is really the core mindset change. So now, let's break down the other 5 practical routines that you can start building today. And we're going to start with the foundation, your home. Okay, routine number 1 is all about creating calm home systems. This is about taking a builder mindset to where you live. So instead of constantly reacting to chaos, you build repeatable systems for your household. You start taking initiative to solve problems quickly, and what that does is it creates an environment that feels secure, calm, and really purposeful. Routine 2 is all about consistent daily action, and the key word here is consistent. Your dreams don't move forward with these big, occasional bursts of effort. This routine is about committing to show up for your personal goals, whether that's a side business, a creative project, something you're learning, every single day, no matter what, even if it's just for a few minutes. Oh, I absolutely love this next one. Routine 3, raising yourself while raising them. This is about so much more than just your own growth. It's about leadership. Your children are watching you, and they learn from the patterns that you live out every day. So when they see you rebuilding yourself, showing courage, pursuing your passions, you're modeling an incredibly powerful lesson for their own lives. All right, routine 4 is build for autopilot, and this is all about setting up systems for your future. This could look like using digital tools to streamline your daily tasks, or maybe creating automated processes in a business you're building. The long-term goal here is to create more time and financial freedom so you can focus on what really, truly matters to you. And the 5th and final key routine is to balance ambition with gratitude. It is so easy to get lost chasing a huge 10-year vision. This practice is what keeps the entire journey grounded and sustainable. You pair that big long-term ambition with a daily practice of appreciating what you already have. And that balance, that's what makes this whole journey inspiring instead of just exhausting. So when you start to put all of these routines together, what are you actually building? You're not just creating a more manageable life for yourself, you are building a true legacy of leadership. And that right there is the real power of the third path. Your journey of rediscovering your own dreams and intentionally rebuilding your life, it becomes the most powerful lesson you could ever teach. It's this living, breathing example of courage and purpose that you pass on to the next generation, simply by living it yourself. So, as we wrap this up, the real question isn't whether this is possible, it's about where you're going to begin. Every great building, every great structure starts with a single piece. So looking at this blueprint, what's the very first brick you're going to lay for your third path?